Hi everyone, I am Shahan. Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I will discuss about Priapism. What is Priapism? This is a very important topic for NEET PG, FMGE examination. So remember this. What is Priapism? Priapism, you can see that in the above picture it is flaccid, the penis is flaccid, and in the lower picture it is erect. So it is actually the erection of penis which is for a prolonged period, but it is not due to sexual arousal. So generally for sexual arousal the penis erect, but this is not due to sexual arousal. This is the erection of the penis, and it continues for a long period of time without the need for the sexual arousal. So this is not a sexual process, it is just a disease in which the penis remain long for a long period of time. It remains erect. Now before that, let me tell you about the anatomy of the penis. This is very important. Look at the diagram of penis. You can see the penis has a head, and that is known as glans. That is known as glans penis. Now glans penis is the very sensitive area, and this area is generally helps in the orgasm part of the males, because whenever this area is stimulated, a lot amount of blood comes here and it become erect. And from the process of erection we can understand that there is something known as corpus cavernosum. Do you know what is corpus cavernosum? This is a spongy tissue. You can see the above most pointing one, that is corpus cavernosum. This is a spongy tissue that lies throughout the shaft of the penis. The shaft of the penis contains a very spongy tissue which contains vacuoles, which contains spaces for the blood to come here, and these blood, whenever it comes here in the corpus cavernosum, the penis become hard, stiff and erect. So you can understand the importance of corpus cavernosum. It is a spongy cylindrical tissue which when filled with blood it makes erection. There are other tissue which are also important. Let me tell you about the epididymis. Epididymis. Do you know what is epididymis? Epididymis is a tube-like structure, you can see, which is situated along the testis. Yes, along the testis. So always remember, epididymis is a long thin tube which is situated along the testis, and this generally carries the sperm. Whenever the sperm is produced in the testis, you always know that the sperm is produced in the testis, and these sperm need to be carried out. This is carried with the help of epididymis. It has cauda epididymis, body epididymis, caput epididymis, which is the head of the epididymis. All these are parts I will discuss, but in this video I am telling the short anatomy of penis. So always remember, the penis has a head which is known as glans. It is the most sensible part of the penis, where there is a lot of nerve endings which helps in stimulating a kind of clitoris. In case of the female we have clitoris, and in case of male the homologous to the in case of the male is the glans. Now you have another organ which is known as corpus cavernosum, which is the spongy tissue which is there throughout the penis, and it contains spongy tissues which through which the blood enters and make it erection. Other thing which I told you is the epididymis. Epididymis is a long tube which is connecting the testis, and you can understand this this epididymis actually carries the sperm from the testis. And you have another portion which is inside. It is a long thin tube which is inside the penis, runs throughout the penis, that is the urethra. You know, urethra, that carries both the urine and the sperm through which it comes out. Okay, and there is an opening which is known as urethral meatus or urethral opening, which is outside in the glands, so through which everything comes out, you know it. And another portion is also there in case of uncircumscribed penis, that is known as the foreskin. Do you know what is foreskin? Foreskin is a covering which is there, and this covers the glands. the sensitive area of the penis is covered with the help of foreskin, and it is very much lubricating. It comes out whenever it is stretched, the glands comes out. You can understand. Now let me discuss what is priapism. You know priapism? Priapism is a persistent erection. Very, very important. Normal erection occurs whenever the male and the female is doing sex. At that time, before doing the sex, the male organ penis become erect. You know it. But priapism is the persistence erection, persistent, and this is very important. This persistent erection lies for more than 4 hours. It lies for more than 4 hours. So it is a prolonged process of erection. It is very painful, and it is medical emergency. Very important. It is medical emergency. It is very, very important. It is not related to any kind of sexual stimulation. Suddenly, for different diseases, maybe due to taking different medications, maybe pressure medications or other medications, sexual medications, you can get this disease known as priapism, which is persistent erection of the penis, and it is medical emergency. So there are basically two kinds of priapism one can understand. Number one is low flow priapism. Low flow priapism. What is low flow priapism? Low flow. Low flow priapism is also known as ischemic priapism or known as ischemia. It is due to ischemic process, and that is why it is ischemic priapism. What do you mean by the low flow? Low flow means there is low amount of blood flow to the penis, and because of the ischemic condition, a kind of priapism develop, and this priapism is very, very painful. There is less amount of blood and there is pain. So it is very painful process, painful priapism. If there is the question in the of painful priapism, you can understand this is ischemic priapism. It is low flow priapism. Always remember, in case of the high flow or excessive blood flow priapism, you are having painless priapism. You are having painless. Whenever there is a lot of blood, there is painless. There is no pain. But when there is less amount of blood, then it is very, very painful. You have to remember, it is very, very painful whenever it is less amount of blood is there. Ischemic priapism. Another is high flow priapism, where there is a lot of blood, excessive blood flow is there, which is painless. And what happens in low flow priapism? You get rigid sapt. Whenever there is ischemic condition, whenever there is less amount of blood that has reached there, you get very rigid, fully rigid sapt. The sapt of the penis is very rigid. And whenever there is high flow priapism, that means you got a lot amount of blood there, then the sapt is not fully rigid. Not fully rigid. If it is not fully rigid, then you can understand that this is high flow priapism and there is a lot of blood, and this condition is painless. But in case of ischemic condition, you get very painful, there is less amount of blood, and the sapt is very hard, very rigid. So this differentiation between the low flow priapism, that is ischemic priapism, and high flow priapism, which is different, you must understand, because they always mix up and ask what kind of priapism it is. It is ischemic or not. Another very important finding is priapism is related to a disease, and the name of the disease is sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease. It is a disease which can cause priapism. Why? Sickle cell disease cause priapism. Do you know? Sickle cell disease. What happens in sickle cell disease? Do you know? Because of the genetic defect, because of the point mutation, you know, in the 6th position, there is the glutamic acid is replaced by valine or something happens. You know the pathophysiology. Because of that, there is change in the hemoglobin structure, and you get a certain sickle sept RBC, and these sickle sept RBC are very fragile and they clog in different portion. You can see the picture, the right ever corner of the screen. You can see that these sickle celled RBC has been clogged in different portion. It has blocked the venous outflow of the corpora cavernosa. You know corpora cavernosa, I told you, corpora cavernosa was a spongy tissue which is there in the penis, in the septum of the penis. And from there, the venous outflow, that means the blood needs to come back from the penis, that is venous outflow, that is blocked by the sickle-celled RBC. And as it has blocked, so there is stagnant venous blood, and these stagnant venous blood which is there in the corpora cavernosa, it becomes acidotic. As it remains there, it becomes acidotic and hypoxic. So there is less amount of oxygen, so hypoxic condition developed, acidotic condition developed, and the blood as it cannot reach, further blood cannot reach there, so ischemic condition also developed. So I told you, this becomes a case of ischemic priapism. And you know, in ischemic priapism, blood flow cannot reach there, so the penis sac becomes very hard and rigid, and there is a lot of pain. This is very important. It is very, very painful in case of ischemic priapism. It is a medical emergency, I told you. A form of compartment syndrome. So you can understand a kind of compartment syndrome. In compartment syndrome also, this kind of behavior occurs. So here it is written, a form of compartment syndrome, and treat as sickle cell crisis. So generally this is managed in the urology department. Whenever it comes in the emergency department with priapism, the urology department manages it. Before I end this video, you must remember this column. This is very important because so many times question came from ischemic and non-ischemic type. Very, very important. The clinical features of priapism in ischemic and non-ischemic type. Whenever there is ischemic, always remember it is fully rigid, very hard shaped. Ischemic, very hard. But in case of non-ischemic, there is no rigidity. Next, in case of ischemic, the penile pain, the second point, the penile pain, the pain in the penis is very high. So ischemic condition, there is less amount of blood in the penis, it is very painful. Next, in non-ischemic, there is no pain or less pain. Next is hematologic abnormality. There is sometimes in the ischemic condition, sometimes in the non-ischemic condition. So you cannot differentiate. In case of perineal trauma, seldom it is ischemic and non-ischemic sometimes. All these are not important. You have to remember the first 2 points, that is fully rigid. In which condition it is fully rigid, then it is, you have to understand, that is ischemic condition. And which condition you get pain, it is ischemic. In non-ischemic, both are no. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, make a thumbs up and please subscribe this channel, because this channel, every day I make a new video on medical topics which are important for your NEET PG FMG examination. So please subscribe this channel and write down in the comment section below if you like this video, and press the thumbs up. And this inspired me to make many more videos like this. Thank you. Have a nice day. And please visit the playlist of this channel. This channel has a playlist. You just go to the playlist. You can find so many videos on medicine, on pathology. It may be 100, 200, 300, 400. I forgot. You just check. All these videos I have made for helping MBBS students, nursing students, physiotherapy student, whichever you are, or BDS student, whichever year you are, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, you just watch all the videos. You will have a great knowledge of medicine. Everything is covered here. All the important diseases are covered. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.